Okay, so we were just here talking about academia, professions, and the trades. Next question, is there still a danger of racial discrimination if we return to tracking? And by this I mean that once upon a time, when tracking was applied, very often what it meant was that people of color might be steered toward the trades, whereas people who were white might be steered toward academia and the professions. And that, of course, does not satisfy Isabel Sawhill's desire for there to be a balance, for there to be democracy and equality, and for the end of racial discrimination and other kinds. Along that note, you may have noticed when you were reading Crawford that it's an awfully manly text, now isn't it? It's a good text. It's brilliantly written. I love it. But you can't help but notice, can you, that he inserts the word man about as many places as he possibly can. And for the reading for today, he seems to be relying on some rather sexist stereotypes about how men are supposed to be strong and silent and not chatty, not womanly, if you like. So there's that to get around. But the discussion that people in the world are having around that topic is this. Since the late 1990s, girls and women have been outperforming boys and men in school, in all the schools, in the grade schools, in the high schools, in the colleges, not in every single area, not in science, for example, or mathematics, but reading, certainly. Girls and women have been outperforming boys and men, and they have been entering college at a higher rate than boys and men, and they have been graduating from college at a higher rate than boys and men. And here's the thing. The trades, as Crawford says, it is considered to be a kind of a manly profession. Women are not steered toward the trades. They're, if anything, steered toward helping professions, service professions, doing for people, basically, is where they're steered. They're not steered toward building bridges. Well, maybe emotional ones, but not physical ones. So it seems like girls and women have kind of benefited from the shift to the college-bound curriculum, although they're not taking places as high as the men who are there are in the professions and in academia. And boys and men, are they losing something from this shift toward everything college-bound all the time? Would boys and men be better served if there were more acknowledgement of the importance of the trades and in how to become skilled? Okay, why are the powers that be opposed to teaching trades in junior high and high school? Why is it that everything is focused on reading and writing and mathematics and the sciences and history? What happened to music? What happened to home economics? And these are economic concerns, really. They decided in the early 1990s that by and large people are going to need to be getting into college, and they're going to need to be graduating from college, and they're going to need to become analysts, bankers, and things of that nature. Was that wise? Why did they do it? Economic factors. Question, have we gentrified our high schools by having magnet schools that only benefit white students? And if you've been around a while, maybe you have noticed this. Some of the magnet schools, for example, McLean, I believe, is a magnet school for medicine. The students who are taking the places in the magnet school are by and large white, it is my understanding. And McLean High School is not by and large white. And when I went to Edison, so I assume it's the same now, but when I went to Edison, the magnet school was made up largely of white students, and the Edison students themselves, largely African American over there at Edison. So this question, have we gentrified our high schools for having magnet schools that only benefit white students, again becomes a question of fairness in education, which Sawhill is very much concerned about. Have we leveled the playing field with magnet schools? Are magnet schools a help in preparing high school students for careers? Should we have more magnet schools? You know, I suppose provided we can make them equal? Should magnet schools be brought to students' and parents' attention more emphatically? I had a student tell me that she really didn't know what a magnet school was. It wasn't told to her while she was in high school. Going back to the high school counselor point, which is to say high school counselors might have 100, 200, 300 students that they're in the charge of, so they may not necessarily see all of them. When I was in high school myself, we were told that we could go to the high school counselor. We weren't told why we ought to want to or what we could learn from them. So maybe there needs to be a little bit better coordination, or maybe high school counselors are not necessarily the very best way or the only way to tell students what's available to them. Maybe there's something else we can do. Tracking, for example, it seems like it would close students off early, where they'd be told, okay, you're going into the trades and you're 10 years old. But maybe in some way it actually would open more doors, because if they're tracked that young, maybe they could be given information about their preparation that young, and it would be cheaper to do it if they're already tracked. Okay, and last, Common Core is a subject that has been in the public discourse for a while. It's been a change to our curriculum in the last few years. Is Common Core solving some of the problems identified by Sawhill and Crawford? I bring this up because, you may have noticed that the Sawhill essay and the Crawford essay, they were both published in 2013. That's been 4 years now. Have we made some changes to our curriculum in the last 4 years? And are those changes taking care of the problems that Sawhill and Crawford are talking about? And that is it for this video.